PunchPod in stereo. Every week, PunchPod brings you live stand-up comedy from Seattle. And now, episode 46.
So I've been doing things to meet girls, throwing myself into situations that don't work, by the way. But like classier girls, you know. I'm not going to the club for some tramp, okay? Some guys like to go to church. I did that for 20 years. I'm done with it. So I've been doing other things. I went to museums, which is, I'm realizing now I need to throw myself into things that I'm comfortable with, which is not the case with museums. Every guy, well, here's the thing. If I get a girl who like at a museum, she's probably like a classy girl, which I can't afford. I've realized that now. I can't, it's just gonna be like 3 dates. Like, it's gonna be fun at first, like that whole Lady and the Tramp thing. She's like, oh, he took me to a dive bar and then a $3 movie. But then 3 dates later, Lady and the Tramp isn't that much fun. She'd like want to like, go to a fancy dinner and be like, well, I know this back alley where this guy will give us old spaghetti. And she'd be like, that's disgusting. I'm gonna go dancing and do coke and my 45-year-old art history teacher is gonna pay for it. And then I'm just left all alone in an alley eating spaghetti.
So the other day, some friends were like, hey Jake, do you want to go to an LGBT club? And I was like, yeah, cool, sandwiches. It's not what that was. Too much meat in that sandwich, boy. You gotta hold the pickle, man.
I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, why do I pull down my pants and sit on the toilet even when I'm only in the bathroom to weep? And I think we know why that joke's funny, people. It's funny because I'm a tall, broad-shouldered man's man, and it's funny to think of me emoting that freely. But somebody came up to me after the show, they're like, hey, you know what? I disagree. I think it's funny, but I think it's funny because you're skinny, you look like a pussy, and you probably cry all the time. And I said, sir, agree to disagree, but if you'll excuse me, I need to use the bathroom. So, all right.
My kid just turned 18 years old. You know what that means? Freedom. Means I will no longer be known as the defendant's mother. I busted him smoking weed. That is an awkward moment between a mom and a kid. We were both just standing there in the alley. He goes, Mom, you smoke weed? I said, what? He goes, you got any? I said, no, man, ask your Uncle Todd. He goes, Uncle Todd smokes weed? I started laughing. I was like, oh, fuck. You actually think Uncle Todd is your uncle. Stupid.
I saw a girl the other day, she was wearing a t-shirt that said, the future is now. And it made me sad, because she has no idea how the future works. When I was in high school, I found some of my dad's Mormon pornography. It was just page after page of missionary position. Oh.
Star Trek is supposed to be this, enlightened future, and it's just full of space racism. Or spacism, as I've come to call it. The Klingons have it the worst, right? Because in the original series, they are the bad guys. They are untrustworthy and evil and probably Jewish. Oh, it's there. It's there. You gotta read between the lines. And then then you get to the next generation, right? Now this is almost a century later, and what has changed in the time between Star Trek the original series and Star Trek the Next Generation? They have a token Klingon on board the Enterprise. That's great, you guys. Great. And they still never listen to a fucking word he says. Every episode, like they see something out the window. It was like, open a communication channel. I was like, Captain, that is a giant ball of nukes and hate. I think we should probably... No, Worf, we are opening a channel of communication. And not one episode does Worf say, what the fuck did I tell you?
blowjobs are fantastic, right? See, that's the guys laughing because women are like, nah. Their attitude's like, nah, not putting it in my mouth. Mm-mm. Especially if you married her. If you married her, her attitude's like, well, I married you. I don't have to do that anymore. What are you talking about? I figured out what the game changer on that would be, though. What if jizz tasted like white chocolate truffles? You're right, that'd be fantastic. We'd be dead in a generation. But in between, we'd be nothing but fat women and satisfied men. That's for goddamn sure.
Friend of mine wants to start a lesbian speed dating service. I said, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's speed up the lesbian dating process. Maybe we can all move out before we move in together. Lesbian speed dating, sponsored by Turbo U-Hauls.
Guys, we can all agree female circumcision's wrong, right? I don't have a joke for that. I just feel like it was something we'd all agree with.
I have coworkers that I'm afraid of because they're homophobic, and like I'm not even gay. I'm just convincing to like every person. Like I've got this guy that I had to share an office with who had weird stereotypes. Like, yo man, you know all gay people wear tight pants, and I was like, yeah, but I wear tight pants. So that doesn't, you're not really saying nothing. And he'd be like, yo man, you know all gay people are like clean cut and ladylike. I was like, yo, that's me again. And he has weird ones too. He's like, yo man, you know all gay people, when they go to public restrooms, they just suck each other's dicks. And I was just like, yo, how do I prove to him I don't do that one? Like I can't just follow him into the bathroom and then not suck his dick. What does that prove? Nothing. I can't even go to the bathroom with him and be like, yo, hey, the entire time we're here, man, I'm not sucking your dick, all right? Because that just sounds like I'm playing hard to get. That's not...
Punch Pod is recorded live at Punchline Fridays and Tuesdays in Seattle. Tonight's episode starred Evan Morrison, Jake Nally, John Naden, Susan Jones, Scott Lossy, Nick Mangione, Rick Taylor, Abby Drake, Billy Anderson, and Wilfred Padua. This has been Punch Pod. Find more at www.punchlinefridays.com. And thanks for listening. I'm your announcer, Shifty McCrapface.